So, welcome guys to Game Week 39. Yeah, my name is Katichoro Matidza, and as usual, I'm your host. And as you can see, things are a bit different today. Things are a bit different. We're busy just trying out some new things here just to ensure that we are consistently providing you all the analysis that you need going into the next game week. And as you can see, currently I'm all by myself here. Mario will be coming in to join. So yeah, as soon as he can join us, we'll get this party going. But in the meantime, I'll be holding the fort on my side. So hopefully, you guys can also, keep me company here. I'm just trying to have a look at our X spaces. So we actually recording this live on YouTube as well as going live on what is this X Spaces. So if you want to join us and interact with us in real time, so do come on. For the guys that are on X, you can actually tune in as well, and then you guys will be coming through onto the video on YouTube. But I think let's get it going. Let's get it going. We are currently in the middle of the Champions League. So Champions League is still going right now. We can see that there's been quite a lot of action. As you guys can see, I'm a Liverpool fan. For those that don't know me, I'm a Liverpool fan. Last night was we had a great game. Last night was a great game, and I say it's a great game because I think the past four games have been such great games in terms of how we've been, winning the games that we play. It was one of those, classic UEFA Champions League nights, with all the drama and the late goals being scored by our very own captain Virgil van Dijk. So yeah, and it was a good win for us. Isak came on. Unfortunately, he couldn't score. So I think a lot of us would have loved for him to at least bang in a goal there, but yeah, unfortunately couldn't score. I think Chelsea went down to Bayern. I think it was a 3-1 loss for Chelsea. Mario will not be happy about that. Mario will not be happy about that. But as soon as he comes on, he's gonna tell us exactly how he feels about that result and where does he think it went wrong on his side. For Chelsea to get that 3-1 loss against Vincent Kompany's Bayern Munich. Tonight we have Manchester City that's playing. That game kicks off at 9 o'clock. So at the time of this video being recorded, that is probably in the next hour, 15 minutes. So yeah, man, we'll also be out of here. We'll be sitting on the couch, ready for this game. Newcastle host Barcelona. I think this is just going to be a crazy atmosphere there at I'll refer to it as James Park. You can tell my age for some of you guys. You can tell my age that back in the day, the Newcastle Stadium used to be called St. James Park during our FIFA days, the early FIFA days. Now it has been changed. But yeah, man, I think the atmosphere there will be banging. We saw the likes of who's this guy? The new signing that came onto Newcastle, Voltamade. Yeah, he scored on his debut. There were a lot of players that came in. I think this past game week 4, that made a few debuts that we were quite excited to watch. But I think let's get into the show. Let's get into the show, looking into the results. Actually, the results that were, seeing exactly how the matches came about, or rather the results went about in game week 4. I think we can pretty much start with Arsenal. I see Arsenal. They were playing Nottingham. So I think this one, most of us did predict it to go Arsenal's way. I think it would have just been maybe slightly, a few would have actually predicted the 3-0 to be the scoreline. But I remember I was sitting and I'm seeing Goikarez scoring there. I'm just gonna check, but on my side, yeah, I don't have any Arsenal player. I don't have any Arsenal player, so I don't have any of the defenders. So Arsenal having kept a clean sheet, the managers that had the likes of Raya at the back, so Gabriel at the back, the likes of Timber at the back, they were quite happy with this clean sheet that Arsenal has kept. So yeah, I think it was quite an interesting game. I think Goikeres, comparing him to all, probably we can compare him to Ekitike in terms of the good start that he has had. I'm trying to think of another striker that just came into the Premier League and he kicked off, or rather, he started the season quite well in terms of adapting. But I think Goikeres has been doing very well. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing it properly. I think it's still going to take some time. Goikeres or Goikeres, Arsenal fools. Apologies, do not butcher me for the mispronunciation. But yeah, he played well. I think in that fixture, scoring a goal, and we saw Zabamendi with a brace. I would be surprised if I see him coming in the top transfers. Okay, well, he's not there. Usually, you do find some rookie managers seeing the 2 goals that he scores, and all of a sudden he's starting to rank in the top 5 of the most transferred in players. I don't think that's going to be happening quite often. I think he was probably also just as surprised to have scored so many goals. But yeah, I think Heavy, he's in our mini league as well. He mentioned that he forgot to make changes to his team, which I think I tried consoling him because he's likely going to at least maybe have a say in that fixture. But yeah, I think probably to the disappointment of all the managers that had Chris Wood on the team, there was nothing that came from Chris Wood. So yeah, I mean, it says a lot about the Arsenal defense. I don't think this is anything new for most of us who have been following Mikel Arteta's Arsenal in terms of the defense. I mean, last season, Arsenal defenders, to be specific, the likes of Gabriel and Saliba, we know with their set pieces, you knew as a manager that you also have that opportunity to score goals. So yeah, the clean sheets are coming through for Arsenal. And yeah, man, I see Promise. Promise is on the line. I don't know if Promise would be able to come through on the audio here. But welcome, Promise. Just busy going through the results. I think you can just drop a message. I'm gonna try invite you to interact. So I'm just gonna see how I can bring it in here. But yeah, welcome, Promise, on X to those that are watching this live on YouTube. So yeah, I mean, Arsenal, the managers that had him, that had Arsenal assets, as we said, Gokeres and some Arsenal defense, they did well. I think Notting defensively, well, I wouldn't necessarily judge that Arsenal fixture as a fixture to probably discard any of those. I would say Notting defenders, the likes of I think Mikalenko. He's also a good asset to have team. But yeah, I think Arsenal was just more of a superior team on the day. Let's see. We can move on to the next fixture on my side. I'm just trying to see if Mario has managed to join us yet. I was mentioning that he was about to come online. So Mario is not yet here with us, but he'll be joining us soon. And then we see Bournemouth. This fixture, the likes of Semenyo. Semenyo has been ranking or has been getting some good compliment from a lot of FPL analysts. There's a show that I like to follow, FPL Mate. I mean, Semenyo has had a very good start to the season, I'd say. I maybe I'm just giving away my tactics already, but I decided to actually I brought him in. I brought him in on game week 4. So this past game week, I decided to bring in Semenyo as a replacement for who's this Ismail Issa from Palace. So I decided to bring in Semenyo, and I mean already on the get-go, I was getting some good points. So I was quite happy with that. And I'm just trying to check his ownership right now. How many managers have him on his team? Because I think a good asset in terms of, just also keeping for the rest of the season, given also the price tag that he comes in, or rather he comes on. So I wouldn't be surprised if his ownership, I'm just seeing his ownership right now, 40.9% at the time of recording. So 40.9% is quite a lot. So if you're a manager who doesn't have Semenyo on your team, you are playing on dangerous waters. So I brought him in the previous game week. This game week 4 that just went by, as a replacement for Ismail Issa. We see that Bournemouth has had a good start. I think we can all fairly say that they've had a good start, winning against Wolves, winning against Tottenham, and also a win against Brighton. So, and in all of those occasions, I think if we just look at the last game, Semenyo coming back with 13 points in the previous game, as well as 6 points against Wolves. So I think it's a good return. In my opinion. So I think if you're still probably sleeping on him, or probably would say you're still having a look or still trying to consider bringing him in, maybe I can speak of the fixtures that are coming through. You see Newcastle that Bournemouth is going to be facing, and then Leeds United, they just recently got promoted season, and then it's Fulham. Well, Newcastle and Fulham ranking is 3, but you wouldn't necessarily rule them out for getting some points. Maybe we can also speak about some of his teammates. We see the likes of Senesi, if I'm pronouncing it properly. But Senesi as well, he's been returning for managers. I think he's also ranked up with some of the players that have been rewarding managers in terms of some defensive points there. So we did speak about Arsenal. The points to be earned there. Arsenal have been consistent in terms of that returning points for defenders, as well as we've seen now the likes of Senesi also being spoken about. I think that was the fixture that we're just discussing now. Bournemouth, Brighton. Brighton has had a very slow start. I like to keep the context on FPL. I don't think there's quite a lot of assets right now that one could necessarily say they are targeting from Brighton. I, for one, in the preseason, or rather early before the PL season started, I was picking up some touts about Kaipa. I think is the left back who just recently joined. But I've quickly shipped him out. I just played my wild card, by the way. I decided to ship him out because they haven't been able to keep clean sheets. And yeah, it just seems as if right now maybe jumping on, the likes of Mitoma. I think Mitoma 2 seasons ago, he was a hot asset to own. But this season, yes, he did score in the previous game, or rather the game that we're talking about against Bournemouth. But yeah, it's a bit too early. Minter as well. Minter is one of the players that in the past, I've had him on my watch list. But I'm still keeping away from Bournemouth at the moment. And maybe we can move on to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace against Sunderland. That was a goalless fixture. So there was no goals there. It's quite interesting. And I say that because I would have put my money on the fact that Palace would have, come out with some points. 3 points rather. Let me not even just say points, because even a draw is a point. But I would have put my money on Palace winning this game. Mateta specifically. I wouldn't be surprised if the managers probably on the line who could say they brought in probably Mateta. Maybe I'm just trying to think of a scenario now. You probably had Sa and you wanted to swap out Sa for another Palace asset, and you had 2 transfers. Who knows? Maybe you had started with Watkins, and you decided to bring in Mateta, got rid of Sa for someone else as well, as a transfer combo. I wouldn't blame those managers, because I would have thought Mateta, this fixture, he would have returned for managers. But I think to our surprise, this Sunderland team, there's something to be looked into the assets that they have and how they play. I'm just trying to see how the season has started, but I think it's probably the second fixture which has a huge impact on Mateta. But also we need to also remember the fact that Eze, he now moved to Arsenal. So yeah, I think in terms of that Palace attack, yeah, without Ismail Issa, without Eze, it does become quite difficult for the likes of Mateta to get some, assistance in terms of getting the goals. So yeah, I think something to consider for managers. I mean, if you're probably one of the managers that brought him in, looking into this fixture. I don't know how the coming fixtures for Palace. Let's just have a look. Okay, well, West Ham. So there's still that fixture. I think you definitely want to keep the likes of Mateta. I think West Ham is they're in a far worse position than Sunderland in terms of how their season has started. I wonder how long Graham Potter is going to last for West Ham team, because yes, it's not looking good for him. So I think in this, again, this is a fixture. I mean, the FDR rating is a 2. So this is a fixture which, honestly, I would put my money on Mateta. But I think also just taking into consideration what I just said about the absence of Ismail Issa, I'm not sure how far he is from coming back from injury. And the loss of Eze, yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see. But after that, I think the Liverpool game, that's not going to be an easy fixture there. But I think we'll see. We'll see. I think defensively, I have the likes of Gay. As I said, I played a wild card, so I brought him in. One of the reasons of it is the price. I think I got him 4.6, and the price becomes a factor when you are trying to, get at least some premium assets on your team. So yeah, that was my reasoning behind that. My team is not yet final, by the way, so I could still swap him out for some, um, assets which are also coming in at a similar price, 4.5, 4.6, 4.7. In order to still leave room to bring in some assets. Cool stuff. So I think let's move on to the next. Everton versus Aston Villa. Everton versus Aston Villa, a team which I think is where they left off last season. David Moyes has been doing well. Back home, moved into a new stadium. They brought in the likes of Grealish. They have one of England's best goalkeepers, Pickford, who again is keeping some cleans there. Yo, Mario, we see you. Welcome. You live, bro. Hey man. welcome. Mario's joining us on the line. He's live. As we said, guys, we are literally experimenting this whole thing in real time with you guys. We're usually sitting, next to each other here and the team right in front of us. But, due to obviously some challenges in terms of geographic locations, we have to find ways. So Mario, I was just going through some fixtures. I don't know if you were following while you were getting ready, but I was just going through game week 4 fixtures. I was just going through the Everton versus Aston Villa game. Having gone past Arsenal versus Nottingham, Bournemouth versus Brighton, Palace, and Sunderland. But yeah, I was just giving our listeners my thoughts on the Everton and Aston Villa fixture, specifically pointing out the likes of Pickford, who we know from the past season he's been rewarding managers in terms of some points there. I think the likes of Tarkowski as well. Seeing that this was a goalless draw, there were some points for managers that did have him. And there's a midfielder that you like a lot. I think he's a forward. Available for managers to pick up. But Mario, your thoughts? Did you watch the Everton? Did you watch the Everton fixture, the Everton game versus Aston Villa?
No, unfortunately, I was working overtime. But I figured that it would be a difficult game for Villa. Everton have been stubborn this season. Besides I think they suffered a 1-0 loss at the beginning of the season. But other than that, they've been pretty stubborn. So I think defensively, but Tarkowski for me and Pickford are probably the only ones you can really rely on defensively. But yeah, a good result for them. I'd also keep my eye on Ghana. I'm making it sound African. Ghana. But then, yeah, he's also a very good player. I think he scored earlier on, I think in the second game week. So there are some interesting assets. It's just unfortunate they play Liverpool next. But then you could get a clean sheet there, unless Liverpool pull that Fergie time. Or is it slot time now? But yeah.
We've been putting those, I think, also in Champions League. I spoke about it earlier when we started that. Even last night's game, it was a late winner, and it's becoming a thing. Slot was drinking from Fergie's well, so it's been good. It's been heartaches, or rather, it's been heart palpitating moment. But I mean, we welcome it. All right, Mario, and then so I think we can probably also have a look into the next fixture. I think, or rather, maybe Aston Villa. I have Conte from there. I was happy I got some points there, but I mean Aston Villa as well. They didn't really start. They haven't started their season anything close to how we saw them play last season. I think you can agree on that, now. Do we still have Mario? I think Mario got disconnected. But yeah, I think Aston Villa, they haven't started anywhere close to how they finished their season last season. I was always skeptical about the analysts, FPL analysts, who were talking about bringing in Watkins. I think my hesitation was mostly taking into consideration the fact that towards the end of last season he was also not getting much game time. Also, there were speculations about him probably moving. But I was always a bit surprised when I heard managers referring to him a good asset to bring in. And I think in hindsight, looking at it now, Watkins hasn't returned for all of those managers that did bring him in. And if I am probably one of those managers at this point, I would also want to, I'd rather be considering taking my money elsewhere and bringing in other assets. So yeah, I think Watkins has disappointed, but I think it's not just Watkins. I think the whole Aston Villa side, they haven't really started the way that they did start last season. So yeah, man, I think Unai has a lot of work to do. Unai has a lot of work to do to turn around the fortunes for Aston Villa. But I do believe that the team is quite strong. It's just a matter of time in terms of figuring out exactly how to get the team motivated and probably playing at the same level in which they were playing last season. So yeah, I think maybe also just quickly running through Fulham versus Leeds United fixture. That was a 1-0 win. Another team that got promoted, Leeds United, they came back recently. We see that it was an own goal, actually. It was an own goal scored by Gudmundsson. Didn't watch this game. But I think, yeah, I saw quite a few managers that did own Fulham defenders. So I'm looking at the bonus points also that are awarded. The likes of Bassi getting 3 points, Anderson getting 2 points, and Leno, the goalkeeper, getting a point there. So kudos to the managers that did actually have those defenders and awarded in that sense. But yeah, I mean, also Leeds. I mean, the first time that they came in, I think, or rather when they came back 2 seasons ago, after a long time being absent from the Premier League, Patrick Bamford was quite an asset to own. Right now, I haven't really spent quite a lot of time looking into who I could bring in. I think I'm also not going to really invest on looking, or rather, I'm still staying away from Leeds just to monitor exactly what's going on. But I'm quite I would say the fact that they lost just with a 1-0 margin and through an own goal, I think there's something to take into consideration in terms of how they shape up defensively. Yeah, I think there's probably potential there. We'll see what the Leeds that has come up this season has in store. And then Newcastle, the Newcastle fixture, after the departure of Isak coming to obviously the big club Liverpool, we saw the new signing, the Isak replacement, Voltamade, scoring. I think I spoke about it earlier. Voltamade scored, Jacob Murphy with an assist there. And yeah, man, Pope with some points for the saves that he did from an FPL context, obviously. So he got some good points there in terms of the saves that he pulled through. I also didn't really watch this game, but the way that Wolves as well hasn't started so good, I would have expected Newcastle to do a bit, much better than the 1-0 win that they did manage to produce. Again, though, we need to take into consideration the fact that their top striker is no longer there. Yeah, I think there's also some new players. I think Elanga as well. He's a new joiner coming in, so they probably still need to get some time in terms of just getting to gel and the chemistry to develop amongst the players, and also just accepting that Isak is gone, and starting to work around the new number 9 that has come through. I also mentioned earlier that tonight they do play Barcelona. They welcome Barcelona. I mean, this Barcelona is reminding me of the Pep Guardiola Barcelona, and I say that in the sense that, I mean, how they just seem to always find a way against Madrid. I'm thinking about the Madrid fixtures that they've played, how they were able to come back last season to win La Liga, how they were playing as well, I think in the Champions League. And I mean, Lewandowski, the man is supposed to be at his later years of his career, but the goals still keep coming, and the young guys that are coming through, the likes of Yamal. So I'd like to actually see how Dan Burn and co are going to be able to deal with, the Barcelona attack. But I think there's a lot to be learned, I guess, from just seeing how Newcastle will be able to deal with, or rather be able to organize themselves defensively going into the remainder of the season, against also just seeing how they play against Barcelona. Mario, I'm talking about Newcastle playing Barcelona tonight. I'm saying that's going to be an interesting fixture to see. How Dan Burn and company tend to deal with the likes of the Lewandowski attack, Yamal, and the likes there. I don't know, your thoughts for him. I'm not sure if he's going to start, but I think he will have to start tonight. I don't think they have another striker there. But yeah, your thoughts on that fixture and probably tonight, how they're gonna line up.
Didn't they actually sign like a new striker? I mean, besides,
Yes, Tamade.
Besides Walter Made.
Okay, there's another guy, nah?
Yeah, there is someone else that they signed. I
But do you
just
think they're
can't
gonna bring
remember.
that guy on, or they're gonna play Voltamade?
I think they'll probably go with Walter Made, seeing
Mm.
as that.
Keep up the momentum.
Yeah, and seeing as that he's the one who did score for them and give them that 1-0 victory over Wolves this past weekend, maybe as well.
Yeah.
They've gelled a bit better together. So yeah, no, it should be interesting. I don't know how to describe Newcastle now. Maybe last season I would have said it's gonna be like a lot of goals, electrifying game, sort of. But at this point, hey, we don't even know what we're gonna get from Newcastle. It's like a bag of chips, sort of. So
I also share the same sentiments. What I also mentioned was that I think they 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 still need to figure out which Newcastle they are this thought Isak, obviously with the likes of Elanga having come on. But I think tonight's fixture is going to be a good fixture. I look forward to it, honestly, to see how they play. But yeah, Mario, maybe let's wrap up the fixtures. Let's maybe discuss Brentford 2 and Chelsea 2. What happened there? What happened over the weekend?
I thought did you really wait, Kato, to discuss this fixture? Why
I was
didn't you
waiting
do
for
it?
you to arrive.
Why
I was
didn't you do
waiting
it
for you
while
to
you were doing?
arrive.
Why didn't you do it while you were doing your monologue? Eh? You should have done it while you were doing your monologue and left me out of it because I don't like
Tell us.
discussing daylight robbery. Especially with the fact that Newcastle took the throw 15 meters away from where the throw in actually occurred, where the ball actually went out. So yeah, it was a unfortunate result. Chelsea played well. It was difficult for us, I guess, at the beginning of the game, but we grew into the game, same as the Bayern Munich game last night. But yeah, good to see Palmer score again. For those who doubted him and sold him, scored again against Bayern Munich last night. But hey, with Chelsea, hey, it's a mixed bag of chips. It's a mixed bag of chips, almost like Newcastle, but at least with a bit more stability. I think the boys are kind of tired from the Club World Cup. I know it's August, but we just won it like literally a month ago. I think what was the date, the 18th, and we won it on the 15th. So it's difficult to say that doesn't have an impact that what's going on. It's even with the Bayern game. Bayern was just more clinical. We made a lot of errors, scored the own goal, but the team was ticking. The team was ticking. The João Pedro's form died down a little bit, but hard done by the Liam Delap injury because I feel like he is probably the only out and out real number 9 we have in that team, other than McGee, who doesn't have the experience to play. So yeah, other than being robbed, that the throw in happened at the halfway line. The ball went out at the halfway line, and then they end up throwing in at the corner flag. I don't know how that happens. Our VAR misses that, but Liverpool can score stoppage time winner goals 5 times in a row. But anyway, story for another day.
My friend, I can hear that you're not happy about that, but I'm definitely happy about the 1-0 win against Burnley. I mean,
Yeah, of course. You guys stole a point from Burnley. How can you not be happy with it?
we've been winning in lost the dying end of the fixture, or rather the match this season. I think it's been our trademark, and as I said, last night was no exception. But yeah, man, I mean, who else do you need at a time like that? A penalty in the last minutes. Mo Salah steps up and he scores. João Pedro had scored. I looked at your team, Mario, and I saw João Pedro had contributed positively and you had him as your captain. And I was like, damn it, Salah has to do something. Eketike was subbed, he didn't score, and things were looking very bad. Not to say things ended up looking good because I scored below average. I scored 61 out of 63, but we'll speak about that as we go on. But yeah, I was quite happy that Salah stepped up, scored, and the points were very, very welcomed. I mean, 18 points in total. So I was quite happy. But yeah, maybe your thoughts.
In all honesty, I was a shaky warrior this past game week. I was a shaky warrior.
And you're not alone.
And I low key blame you. I hope you apologized to the viewers before you ran away.
Why am I being blamed?
For not having an episode last week. But I was kind of waiting on us to have our episode before I edited the team. And then yeah, it kind of backfired on me because we didn't have an episode and I then completely forgot. And then I realized like 15 minutes after deadline. So that was, yeah, something else. So yeah, my team, if you go and you look at it, it's the exact same team as the team from last week. But yeah, in lighter news, at least Pirates one, I was in here to say, hey, welcome back, Game Week 39. Well, we are back with another one. But yeah, four time.
Four times.
I
Let's wrap up the fixture.
just wanna throw that in there. Four time.
Now we see your jersey, Mario. It looks very nice. It's a very nice jersey. I think that's probably the best jersey that any local South African football team has. And that's the Orlando Pirates
Probably, definitely.
Definitely, 100%. Thanks, Mario. So Man City, let's wrap up. Man City versus United. City 3-0. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. It could have been 5. It could have been 6. And as managers, me being one of them.
Hey, it's not going to edit
He can cut the
badly.
feed. He can cut the feed. I need to also be careful. He can cut the feed anytime.
Count your words.
Man. Yes, I don't know your thoughts about Haaland, Mario. But all I can say to you is that I'm working on bringing him in. I think, yeah, he's not done. He's not done. And as I said, that fixture against United, Reynans, whatever his name is, I was disappointed he didn't score. He had a clear opportunity to score. Haaland, he was unlucky at some point. I mean, the one ball hitting the post and going on the other side. I don't know how that ball didn't score, but
United had more possession in this game. Had 12 shots to Man City's 13.
Possession doesn't win games. We know that. Possession doesn't win games.
Okay. Let me read out the stats to you now. Let me read out the stats to you. 12 shots versus 13 shots. 6 shots on target versus 2 shots. 55% possession versus 45% possession. 501 passes versus 430. 83% pass accuracy versus 81% pass accuracy. 8 fouls apiece, no cards in the game, 2 offsides to 3 offsides, 4 corners to 2 corners. I mean, if I read these stats blindly to you and I don't tell you the score, you're thinking this game is no. It's a 0-0 draw.
No, hundreds.
I mean, United had more corners. They had more offsides. I know offsides can sometimes be seen as a bad thing, but I think it shows the attacking intent. Their passes were more accurate. They had more passes. They had more possession of the ball, and they only had 1 shot less than City. City only beat them in the metrics of that fact that they had 6 shots and 3 of them were goals. And United, yeah. I mean, 6 shots on target and 3 of them were goals. United, yeah. What I'm basically saying here now is don't give up on Amaron. Don't give up on Emeron. I know he only has
He's working on
I know
some.
he only has 8 wins in 39 games, but don't give up on him. Don't give up on him. I feel like there's something coming there. My man's cooking, and
Yeah,
don't give up on my guy.
you heard United Royals. Don't give up on Amiron. He's cooking. Something is coming. Something better than what was it? 16th position last season.
Yeah, I think it was
What
about
was it?
it was about 15th.
16th, 14th.
It
So
was I
something
think
better than that.
Spurs. I think oh no, it
I
was
mean, what worse?
2018, 19. Yeah, they were 15th, Spurs were 16th.
What worse? What? How bad can things get? No, surely, Mario. Surely. I mean, I agree with you. Something is coming. It can't get worse than that.
Well, the
It can't
people
get
who played
worse than
almost
that.
1 million wild cards this past game week.
I was about to get to those numbers to say that earlier on before you came on, you see that 936,058. I'm 58. I'm the 8, and everyone else is the other ones are the 7. So I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I needed to make some fixes there. Well, they were not urgent, but I wanted to make some changes. I did, of course. I mean, come on, Mario, I've beaten you how many times?
We're way less
You
than I've
scored a mere
beaten.
57.
Way more less than I've beaten you. So I'll count my words if I
You
were
know,
you.
the
What number
archives
are
are
you?
there, Mario.
Oh,
You know the archives are there,
you're talking like you're talking like you're talking like this. You're talking
let's move
like
on.
this.
Let's move on.
We're not moving on. You're talking like this. You said a mere 57 points when you scored 61 from your wild card. And
No,
then
no,
I
no, no,
gave
no, no. I said I beat you this game week,
no, I said I hoped you've passed me, seeing as I didn't touch
and I
my
said I
team.
did,
I had 2
and I
injuries.
said I
You
did.
haven't. You're 22nd in the league on game week 39.
Oh no, you mean on the ranking? No, you were far
Yeah, I
ahead,
was
Mario.
like,
I'm
come
just
on, I've
catching
had
up.
two
No,
horrible
man,
game
you
weeks
were
in a
quite.
row. 2 horrible game weeks in a row where I scored below average in both game weeks.
No, you have outscored me since the season started.
Last
You know
game
that,
week,
right?
I scored below
No.
average.
No, let's acknowledge that you have outscored me since the season started. I've been chasing you.
When you wildcarded, who did you bring in here? Because I don't see anything.
You'll find I'm only playing my wild card now. I'm part of the 8. I told you I'm part of the 8 that you're seeing there.
Oh, you didn't play it this past game week?
No. I'm playing it now. That's what I'm saying.
No,
From the 936,
but
that
then
58, that 8, I'm the 8.
no, but then these stats are for last game week, not for the coming game week. Those numbers
These
of
stats
how
are
many
for now.
the numbers of how many
The-
wild cards have been played will only be said at the
These are the
end of the
active.
deadline.
Are they not the active numbers, Mario? These ones.
No, it's the past game week numbers, my brother. That's why
That
they're even
wouldn't make
saying.
sense.
That's why underneath it even says most captain Salah. They're not saying Salah is currently
Yeah,
the most
the
captain.
Salah part I
Most
understand, but I would have
transferred
thought
in
the wild
Grealish.
cards are the active ones that are now.
Transfers made past tense. Wild cards played past tense.
Oh yeah.
So
No,
these
but
are
even if it was now, it would have said played because you have already
no. You
activated
can
it.
still turn off your wild card before the deadline happens.
No, you can't.
No,
Once
that's
you once you once you
once you
once you
confirm it,
confirm,
you
you
can't.
can't.
But then
You cannot. So hence,
but then these are all numbers. The numbers that they show on this dashboard. You can see game week 4 status. It's even written on top there, my brother.
we'll confirm, Mario, because now I base that on the fact that top transfers. You see, top transfers in this game week. These are active numbers. These are active numbers right now in real time. Who are the most players that have been brought in? Top transfers out this game week.
Right on top, it says game week for status. Yo, why am I saying the word
You're
status
right.
like that?
You're right.
It says game
You're
week for status.
you're spot on, actually. You are spot on, my friend.
Yo, but why did I say
All right,
status?
cool.
Sounded American. Anyway, yeah, let's move on to is it upcoming game
Tiamo can edit that out. But let's look at the arrows, Mario. How did you do on your side? I'm all red.
Yeah, no. Considering I didn't make a single transfer, I had 2 injured players in my squad, and a Palmer that came off he came off the bench. Or did he start the game? Came off the bench, right? Yeah.
A Chelsea fan, my guy. You should tell us.
Oh my brother. I've been working so hard. Fell asleep while I was watching that game. I fell asleep while watching Bayern last night. I was shocked and I woke up after half time.
So I scored 61 points. I captained Salah, 18 points. You scored 57 points, having captained João Pedro, who gave you 14 points, right? I don't think it's a bad return, honestly, given the fact that I think probably he came through with what, an assist, nah?
An assist, and I think is it 2 bonus points or something.
Yeah. All right. No, not too bad. Not too bad.
I was so happy when Liverpool were drawing that game because is it Esteve from Burnley? Steve was sitting on 8 points without any bonus points. He was about to get 3 bonus points and go up to 11, and Salah was
you know the dilemma of FPL, how FPL you are supporting 2 things. You're supporting your team, you want your team to win, but also you're looking at your FPL and you're looking at how far you can get. And he's the one that auto subbed on my side as well, so he came in for Lewis. So I was looking at that as well.
From 4 to 11 points, and then Salah would have blanked across the board, making my captaincy the perfect captaincy.
The perfect captaincy, but yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen like that, my friend, because we wouldn't be hearing the end of it.
I'm still.
You must enjoy leading for now. I'm coming for you. Probably this game week it will be the last time you are ahead of me this season, my friend.
I highly doubt it, but yeah, okay, let's
buy, sell, keep, avoid. I think we need to wrap up. Buy, sell, keep, avoid. For managers that probably saw Valverde score for Newcastle, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna have to look at his fixtures because him scoring a solitary goal on debut doesn't really say much. He's playing Barcelona tonight, but that might also give us a little bit more.
Barcelona, we're gonna see exactly how
they play Bournemouth next. That is a difficult game. That is a difficult game. Hey. So Bournemouth.
Which one? The Bournemouth fixture, nah?
So hey, I don't know about Bournemouth, so I wouldn't buy him probably. If I had him out.
Thinking about the likes of Senesi, who have also been doing well. I think just the Bournemouth defense has been returning.
Okay, they play Barcelona tonight, then they play Bournemouth, Bradford City next. Yeah. I think it's a monitor because they're playing Arsenal after Bournemouth. They play Barcelona, Bournemouth, and then EFL Cup 3rd round during the week, and then play Arsenal, and then they play Union St-Gallen, and then Nottingham Forest. Yeah, that's a difficult schedule for Newcastle. Bradford City is a bye, but then these teams play hard. They might have to sub in some of their first team players when they realize they're not getting the job done in the second half. One of those like Crystal Palace during the week did, like Nottingham Forest had to do during the week as well. So, hey, avoid.
It's an avoid.
In fact, you can't even keep
All
him
right.
because he plays Arsenal next, and then
Uh,
Nottingham Forest and Brighton and Champions League fixture in between. So now,
all right. And then Eze started his first game. He started for Arsenal for the first time this past week. We saw him come in as a sub against Liverpool during game week 3. Managers that probably are considering jumping on him. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
they play City next, then Port
Yes.
Vale in the third round, and then obviously Newcastle, as I just mentioned. Newcastle's not an easy game for them as well, but they've got so many easy Champions League fixtures. It's hard to snuff your nose at them because they honestly did get so many buys in this Champions League. But yeah, I'd probably. I think Madueke even played better than him. To be fair, in that previous game, I caught the highlights, and I don't watch Arsenal games like that. Not a big fan, but I caught the highlights, and based on what I saw in those highlights, they cooked against. Madueke was cooking against Forest. Subamende with their 2 goals as well.
I watched that whole game, and I won't lie, I was very impressed by how Madueke was influencing that game. I think majority of the attack was coming on the right from the right side, which was Madueke.
To me, like football brain, football guru. I don't know how many times I've said Nonzinho.
Mario, are you still there? I think Mario's line has dropped for a second. But like I was always remind you guys, it's the first time we're trying this. So yeah, man, you guys are on the ride with us. Hopefully you're enjoying it. But yeah, Mario was just reminding us that he's been looking at Madueke maybe because he's a Chelsea former player. Welcome back, Mario. Do you still want to blow Madueke's horn there? Mario, you have dropped off. Mario has dropped off. But we're going to hear Mario's thoughts, wrapping up Eze, whether Eze is a buy, sell, keep, or an avoid. Mario, Eze, is he a buy, sell, keep, or an avoid? Managers want to know. We can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted, Mario. Eze, is he a buy, sell, keep, or do we avoid him? We can't hear you, Mario. Your audio is out. Use sign language right now. Is he a buy, sell, keep, or avoid? Mario is still trying to figure out where the mute button is there, but hopefully it comes on. He comes on in a moment. Mario, is it a buy, sell, keep, or avoid for Eze? Sign language, buy. All right. So, but yeah, I think maybe not to digress from Eze. If I was to give my opinion on Eze as well, I would say I would categorize him on a monitor. I'd put him on a monitor, taking into consideration one, the fact that they play Manchester City next. Number two, I think he still needs, to develop the chemistry, as I mentioned again, or rather earlier, with the likes of Elanga at Newcastle, and probably can say the same about Isak as well. Maybe for managers that were also considering him, but given the fact that I think he hasn't really had a lot of game time, I'm not sure if he played during the Champions League this week. But personally, I wouldn't jump on Eze right now, as much as I've wild card, and I do not have an Arsenal asset yet, and I do get concerned when I see Gyökeres scoring, and Eze could also be a good entry into that, Arsenal outfit. I would say personally, I'd monitor Eze. Mario, I've given my verdict on Eze as a monitor for now. I don't know if you have a different. I don't know if you have a different opinion.
Don't listen to him. But yeah, we'll just go there. No, like I said, I like other options ahead of at Arsenal. Madueke, Subamendi, maybe someone in defense.
Yeah.
But after the Man City game, monitor. But probably monitor the ones I mentioned.
Yeah. All right. That was the verdict on Eze, monitor. So the last one that I have here, I have Cucurella. I have Cucurella on the buy, sell, keep, or avoid. Chelsea didn't keep a clean sheet this past game week. Yes, but personally, I have the likes of Sanchez at the back. And I think I'm quite happy. I'm still confident that, defensively, you guys are well set up there. I think you play United next, and then you play Brentford.
United is a buy, Lincoln City is a buy, Brighton is a buy, Benfica is a buy. At least we get a first 3 points.
So I think based on that, I'll allow you to give the verdict on Cucurella. So it's a buy. It's a buy.
I mean buy. I mean like how they do in the NFL, where like the top ranked seeded teams get like the week off, while the lowly teams play like the fourth round of the FA Cup. You see, EFL Cup. You see Manchester United, lower ranked team, 16th, 15th, like Spurs, they had to play the fourth round. While for us, Liverpool, as such, it was a bye. It wasn't a bye, as in bye, we don't play this round. So this Manchester United fixture is a bye, as in we're just gonna go collect our 3 points at Old Trafford and then go home.
It's gonna be so funny if United wakes up on you guys.
If United beats us, man. If United beats us, I don't even know what I can even say I'll do. But
what do you do, my friend? What if United beats you guys? You were saying that Amaron is cooking. Maybe his dish is gonna be ready against you guys.
Fine, they won't be ready.
Right.
What will I do? What will I do? If United beat us,
you must drop it on the chat. Listen. Drop it on our. Wait. Drop it on our X social, right? We'll drop it on our X social, and then our listeners are gonna go check it out there. They're gonna go check it out there. You guys, if you wanna find out what Murray is gonna do, if United do beat Chelsea, go check what he's gonna post later tonight on what he's gonna do there. And don't give us anything boring, my guy. So yeah, man, that is it. That is it on the buy, sell, keep, avoid. Mario, let's quickly look into the captain choices. I don't know where are you looking. Where are you looking?
I'll have to look at these fixtures. Give them a good eye. Okay.
Is Everton?
Yeah, I don't trust Liverpool. I'm actually thinking about getting rid of Salah, to be fair. It's something I'm strongly contemplating. I'm happy that I still have just my boy Mbokazi gave Enya a nice stamina there in Bloemfontein in the Free State. For those who don't know where that is, it's in South Africa. And a stamina is a shoulder blocked Enya out of the field. Guy faked a cramp in the muscle pull. because he felt that Zulu power, that Shaka Zulu power is too much. Now, unfortunately, I'm
Playing against Stellenbosch towards the dying end of that MTN 8 final.
exactly. So
Put big
unfortunately,
boys on the ground, on the floor.
I have Enya in my team. Nottingham
Mm.
Forest played brilliantly, very attacking player. Would have been probably a very good game by him.
Yeah.
But then you can look at Chris Wood there, Burnley. He's been in bad form after he made the team of the season. Or was it Isak? Was it him and Isak and Haaland? Haaland didn't make it. So that's him and Isak. There's not much in the ways of captaincy, to be honest, looking at these fixtures. There are not many. Villa hasn't been doing well because we obviously look at the promoted teams. Villa haven't been doing well. So who do you look to them for Sunderland? Leeds haven't been doing well. Wolves haven't been doing well. So who do you look to them for Leeds? Nottingham
Yeah.
Forest haven't been doing well. So who do you look to them for Burnley? So I honestly think maybe Cole Palmer against Manchester United, 2-2. He's starting to look like he's got his finishing boots back on. Chelsea will be looking to bounce back from that buy-in loss. So yeah, I'll throw Palmer in there. I think Isak might wanna wake up on Everton, and I trust
The Merseyside derby.
with that guy. I think that this celebration might come out soon. So I'll throw Isak. Maybe a bit of a differential. Yeah, but Forest have been horrible. Yeah, Wolves have been horrible. Villa have been horrible. Who do you even pick from there? So
So right now,
I'll just go
Palmer
with
is
Salah.
where your
Yeah, I'm banned right now sitting on Palmer.
and vice captain.
Maybe Salah probably. I'll put him in at third and that's
Probably
Isak.
Salah.
Oh no.
So
So I'll
you
put João
so you
Pedro. I'll
don't
put João Pedro there at third and then Salah at fourth. But my armband will sit with Salah just because.
so you don't see Haaland scoring against Arsenal this coming weekend.
Not enough that I want to captain him. Also, but don't let. But Manchester United is weak. It's weak, but I don't know how you take so much encouragement from Man City beating Manchester United and Haaland scoring those games, and then you wanna captain him against Arsenal, who have conceded probably one goal from open play this season, and Man City don't look good. Not that Arsenal look great either, because they don't. They just have played lowly opposition. They played Liverpool, a weak Liverpool, and Liverpool managed to take them to a bad neighborhood and mug them. So, hey, I wouldn't captain Haaland, probably not. My honest opinion. It might be a 0-0, might be a 1-0 Arsenal, I think.
Yeah. Regardless, I think it's going to be an exciting weekend ahead as the Premier League has been
Yeah.
delivering.
Two big games, actually. Arsenal, City, Chelsea, United.
Yeah.
So, Saturday and Sunday. Super Saturday, Super Sunday.
All right. Let's have a look at our mini league market. It's starting to take shape. Isaac Mashabela. I think this is a new manager that has just joined us now.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Mr. Mashabela's work.
I think we know the top 10 and the top 50. Probably in this league, we talk about top 20 as well. I mean, these are all strong managers across the country.
Oh, Coffee Pay Adu. Okay.
You know Coffee.
Okay.
Representing LTT there.
Okay, coffee.
And we see
Number
Keegan
2
as
in
well.
Game Week 39. Keegan, but
No,
I mean, we used to see Clean Ball FC. We see them all the time.
Wait. Before we move from coffee, he was number 1, by the way. He was number 1. You can see that he
I
just
see
dropped it. He
I
just
see
got
the
to
red
throw.
arrow. I see the red
Yeah.
arrow.
And then we have Keegan. You know, former champ.
I know Keegan.
Former champ Keegan.
But
Off to a
Clean
good
Ball
start as
FC,
well.
it's not new for us to see them there.
Yeah, no. These are for managers that do not know who Keegan is. Maybe you can just let them know who Keegan is.
I know Keegan is a champ. It's a former gold jacket wearer. So
hundreds.
Keegan
Engraved with the
Keegan
Game 39 title.
is game week 39 royalty, so we don't really get surprised with him. Darren, I'm not familiar with Darren.
Darren, we share a mini league, we're parallel mini league, Darren. You know, shout out Darren there. We see Moteo, if you recall Moteo.
Yeah, no, Moteo,
also had a good season last season.
And another friend of the league.
Also a very old friend of the league, Kyle. Shout out to the Shelby company.
Oh no, Kyle family. Been on the pod before as well.
His family. Shout out to Cooper and the OGs, AA Blues.
Cooper, OG as well. Double A Blues, Lay Blues. Another fan.
Former comprende. Yeah.
Definitely, it's still a comprende even now.
Oh yes, it's still a comprende. Yes, he hasn't jumped ship yet. I need to say, he hasn't jumped ship yet. Pedro, Clueless 101. Pedro is reincarnated. Pedro, shout out to Pedro. We need to get you back on the pod, Pedro. I think, he's been out for quite some time. Shout out Pedro. Yeah, man. DK, 15th position there. We see you, DK, DRES FC. Shout out. And we see one of the faithfuls, Ulisani Dabishi, London Reds.
We see you. The Ghana himself.
Yeah, man. Let's look for...
I'm busy looking at the guys in the relegation battle down here.
Is it? What position are you looking at? What position are you looking at?
At the bottom, see, Heavy, you need to speak with your nephew.
Bottom 3.
Shit.
What happened to Peter? Peter was flying last season, wasn't he?
Peter. Hey, that name. Peter.
No, probably.
We need to find out who Peter is. Because I hope they're not
top. Maybe the account is no longer active. Yeah, man. He was up there last season.
Uri, Ramzag. What's happening? 59.
No, he forgot his password. Don't worry. He's going to come through. He forgot his password.
58 people are a lot. Tevin. Come on, Tev. I play another
you won't believe the name that I'm seeing in this bottom half as well.
I play another mini league with Tevin. He was pretty good last season. Quite disappointing.
11 cakes.
But
what happened? 11 cakes. Butcher's Knife. Butcher's Knife deserves a shout out. What's going on? Butcher's Knife FC.
52. Oh my God. Do better than this.
Miles. They do.
Millie Vanilli, definitely better than this, bro.
Yeah, man. Mario, that was our mini league. And I think as we wrap up, just to our listeners on X, as we do say, we usually running these in parallel. So on X, if you are probably driving or you're just chilling, you can always just jump on when the pod starts. We will drop that on our WhatsApp community channel, the link. But if you do obviously follow us, you'll always get a ping when we schedule a session like for this live recording. And again, if you also want to join our WhatsApp community where you can interact with all the managers that you're seeing in the league there, Mario, I think we need to just upload that link to the community on X as well as the other socials so that they can automatically join. and we ensure that they're connected. I mean, these managers, they cannot just see each other there, but they're not, sharing tactics and thoughts and probably, all of that jazz. So make sure to look out for the link to the WhatsApp community. We're bringing everyone closer. We bring everyone closer. And to catch us on Spaces as well. We are live right now, but the stream is gonna go down as soon as we also go down on YouTube. And to our YouTube listeners, I know you guys, we've deprived you, of this content that you've been looking for. We're not dead and buried. We're just busy, trying new recipes. We're just trying new recipes. We're cooking, and you know how these things are. Technicalities do come in, and right now we're gonna go back and also just have a look and see how we can improve on all of this. But make sure that you keep those bells on so that you know when we are live, and you guys can catch us in real time. But yeah, Mario, I think in closing, going into game week 5, deadline is the 20th, which is this Saturday at midday. Make sure that if you're playing the wild card, just like I am, if you are putting your team together, obviously take into consideration the fact that there's still Champions League tonight. There's still injuries that could come out. But I think game week 5 is going to be interesting. You don't want to start falling behind too far, right? So it's also very important to keep up with the pace. Do not sit on the side for too long. What do they call it? Paralysis. What is it? Decision paralysis. When you're thinking of bringing a player or not. Mario suffered from that with Haaland last season. By the time he jumped on,
I suffered
Haaland
I suffered from Katu. Is the one who made me miss the deadline. The disease. I
See, he
forgot to
blames
put
me.
disease at the end.
He blames me for not setting up his team. Managers, I hope you guys are not gonna do the same. But no, we'll definitely remind you guys when as soon as this drops, you guys will get the notification. And you'll always not be shaky warriors because that's why we're here. But Mario, in closing, anything for our listeners, our viewers, going into game week 5?
Yeah, I think this might be a low-scoring game week. I might be wrong. But looking at the fixtures, two difficult games for two big teams, two struggling teams playing. Three struggling teams playing, teams that are coming from the bottom up. So there might even be some shock wins for Leeds, Sunderland, Burnley. Not for Manchester United though. But like I always say, keep your eyes. But like I always say, keep your eyes on the fixtures and the mind and the numbers on your mind. And like I always say, men lie, women lie, but numbers never lie, baby.
Numbers never lie, guys. But yeah, man, hopefully you guys enjoy the jam-packed weekend that's ahead. Liverpool, Everton, Merseyside Derby, United, Chelsea later on Saturday, and also the Arsenal versus Manchester City on Sunday. I think this one, you better be glued to the screen because we are definitely going to be. But yeah, from us to you, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Cheers.